guys, in this video we finally finished all of the bodywork on the Lambo. I'm really excited on how it turned out. I'm excited to see what you guys think of it. I hope you enjoy. All right, really quick, I forgot to mention, this video is going to have a lot more time lapse in it because I had a ton of footage of just me just grinding and doing the work. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy. I'm sorry this video took so long to post. I had a lot of stuff going on. I spent so much time editing the footage. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. All right, here starting off, as you can see, I just used some glass cleaner. I'm cleaning off the hood, getting all the dust off, and getting it prepped for some body work. And then here I'm just using a microfiber towel, just trying to get literally everything off of this hood. Here, as you can see, we just busted out some glaze coat. And we're just going on over all the low spots on the hood here. I really struggled with this part because I was just trying to figure out the best way to get the glaze coat put on these low spots. And I didn't know how much material to actually use. And I used way too much. I kept scraping it off on a paper towel. And the work time on this is like super fast. You only have so many seconds before it dries up. So right here you can see I'm actually restarting that one, scraping off as much of the glaze coat as I can, and then I go back over it with some more glaze coat. This is all trial and error for me. I've never done this before, but we're gonna figure this out, man. I used way less material here on this, and I'm actually a lot happy with how this turned out the second time. Basically, I just kind of work it a little bit, and then I just let it sit. Because when you can always go back and sand it off if you're not happy with it, if it's high, but you just gotta kind of leave it. That's what I found out. As you can see here, I redo it for a third time. I put way too much material on there that second time. And now we're going back over it again for the third time. I use way less material, same thing. We're just gonna let it sit. Moving on to over here where I repaired this dent. Same thing, less material, just hit it nice and smooth, and then we're just gonna let it sit. I was not happy with how that turned out, so I scraped it all off and I went to go try again. This is all trial and error. We're gonna figure it out by the end of this. And if you guys are actually liking my videos, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps out my channel a lot, and less than 1% of you that view this channel are subscribed, so please don't forget. Thanks. All right, so I just finished sanding this guy. all these spots in here that I went ahead, put some glaze coating on, and I think that it's good enough to prime now. So what I'm gonna do now is literally just pop the hood open and take the hood off and get it prepped for paint. All right, so I'm just gonna take the hood off. And we got, looks like a shock here, and then just 2 bolts on each side. So another shock here, and then 2 bolts. I'm just gonna rip that off quick. It's really annoying that all my nice tools are at the shop, so I'm sitting here working on a $100,000 car with $5 ratchets and sockets, so that's cool. This side, those are loose. Gonna grab this side over here. Whoops. How in the heck am I gonna do this by myself? That's the real question. This is about to get real interesting. Okay. This hood's actually really light. All right, now I'm just gonna rip the door off. There's a few nuts and bolts just on the door hinges that I'm sitting here trying to figure out what size I need, trying to figure out what tools I have at home, because again, all my tools are at the shop. It's super annoying. But eventually, I do get this door off. So, yeah, I spent way more time than I liked. Trying to get this door off is actually kind of embarrassing, but we figured it out eventually. All right, so while I was struggling trying to unbolt this door, I found out that you just have to unbolt this one, and this side literally just slides on there. So if you look over here on the door, right there, look at that. Just a little dowel hole and pin, and it just slides right on there. So that's annoying. Glad I spent 10 minutes trying to figure that out. All right, you guys, it is time to paint the hood and the door on the Lambo. I'm pretty sure I got the bodywork good enough to the point where we can at least use the high build primer. The high build primer is very forgiving, so we shouldn't have to worry about that, I don't think. I don't know, we'll find out. This should work as a paint booth, right? All right, so I'm just gonna use this stuff to prep the surface and make sure everything's nice and clean before I spray. All right, so all the videos that I've seen online and all my research say that this is the stuff to use. So this is what I'm gonna use. Basically, you shake it up really good. It's got the hardener in it. Oh, you pop that off. You put it on the bottom like this, and then you slam on it, and when you do that, it releases the hardener. So yeah. All right, so I decided I was gonna paint this section of the door on my dead grass. So yeah, like I said, using this Eastwood 2K high build primer with the hardener, and yeah, let's see what happens. Think that's it? I don't know. Sure. All right. Well, got that coated, I guess. That edge coated. All right, now we're gonna let that sit for about 15 minutes, and then we'll throw another coat on it. All right, we're just gonna start on the hood while we're waiting for the door to finish drying. Just get after it. See what that does. Oh, okay, so that makes it a little more controllable. All right. I guess we should figure out how the can works before we start spraying. All right. Yeah, I like that. All right, we're gonna do 2 more coats on the hood, 1 more coat on the door, and we'll be back. All right, you guys, well, that's all she wrote. Looks like 1 can was perfect. That can is totally empty. We got 3 coats of primer on this guy, and we got 3 coats on that guy. So hopefully I can get these big splotches to sand out, but we'll see what happens there. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm just trying to build a cool car. All right, so we got the hood primed right there. We got the door primed right there. And now I think what I want to tackle is this windshield cowl here. This is brand new from Lamborghini. I got a good deal on it because it's damaged, which maybe to like a Lamborghini owner it's damaged, but the only thing I can find on this whole thing is this little scratch right here. And it's gonna be underneath the hood. So who cares? I don't care. No one's gonna see it ever. Literally ever. Damaged to new. So yeah, got a good deal on it. Yeah, let's get after it. Oh yeah, and part of this install here is when this thing got totaled out, they decided they were gonna throw away all of my windshield washer stuff, which I'm sure that was damaged. I'm sure that had to get thrown away. So I found out through a bunch of forums and stuff that the Volkswagen Tiguan washer sprayers are the exact same as the Lamborghini Gallardo sprayers. So instead of spending $500 on sprayers, I spent $20. And I got a universal tube kit with tees and stuff off of Amazon for like 15 bucks. So yeah, I saved myself probably 600-ish, 700, probably $800 in Lamborghini parts. All right, so first things first, we got to take these nuts off. I already loosened them, but this all comes loose. Oh, that sucks. We'll have to find that nut in a second. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, buddy. Dude, that could have been so bad. It literally landed on that frame rail right there. All right, and then all you do to get these off when they're seated is just kind of pop it like that. And then you should be able to just lift this off. There. It's splined, so there we go. Boom. All right, we got one arm off. This one's gonna be a little more tricky because there's this little 10 mil right there, but should just come off as well. Pop it loose. Okay. And this little guy. Come on. Come on. I don't want you to break because I don't know how much you're gonna be to get fixed. Okay. There we go. All right, so now we just have to flop these shocks out of the way. Just set this up here. Okay. Same thing. Just flop it out of the way. All right. She looks like a perfect fit, so looks like we just got to pull that Torx bolt out to put this underneath there. And then it looks like there's just one 10 mil right there on both sides. And we should be able to get this thing on there. All right, and that looks like a really good fit. So that's cool. Now we're just going to see if our Big One sprayers here actually fit or not. And we should be in good shape to start running our piping underneath there. All right, so we just want to make sure this fits in there before I snap it in. But yeah, look at that. That is a perfect fit. That's crazy. Volkswagen Tiguan's, who knew? Alrighty guys, so I just removed the trim pieces that go around both of my headlights. And I just wanted to make sure that my sprayers worked. So I pulled the windshield cowl back off too. And I found my plumbing pipe with the T's here. And I used my universal kit. And I hooked into both of my sprayers. So as you can see, right here, we have sprayers. Yeah, buddy. Woo! All right, so I also only have one OEM Lamborghini drain tube here. So, and then there was this T that this also connected to that one. I'm not entirely sure how that runs, but as you can see the ground right there. So I'm just gonna run this side down that way. And I'm gonna get a longer drain tube here. It hooks in right there. And then I'm gonna run it, you can see the ground right there. So we're gonna go just run them both towards the ground like that, and we're gonna call it a day, I guess. So yeah, I popped this panel out here, so I'll be able to run, I'm gonna run to like Home Depot and just pick up some quarter, like fish tank tubing is what this looks like to me. So I'm gonna go do that quick. We'll pop this back in, and I'll be back in probably like 10 seconds for you guys. And boom, now we have our whole windshield cowl, our sprayers hooked up, the drains hooked up, and the wipers are put back on. So now I think we are ready to throw the hood back on. Unfortunately, the hood was not ready to be put back on. So here I am, sanding and sanding and sanding some more. We went ahead, hit this with the block at 600 grit, getting her nice and smooth, getting all the high sides out and high spots out. All right, so now we're just gonna tackle these low spots. We're gonna hit it with that glazing putty again, I'm just gonna use this guy right here, spread it out nice and smooth, and we should be good to go. This is a bad bit here, or spreading tool. It's all chipped up right there, so I'm gonna have to go grab a different one. I'll be right back. All right, this one's a little better, so we'll use this on this side and go deal with the other side. That is gonna be more than plenty of glazing putty. Yeah, you see I can started sanding that out a little bit there, so we'll see what happens. I don't know, it might be okay. Literally, you just spread it out. Just like that. All right, I think I'm happy with that. So we'll let that set up for a little bit, and then we'll come back. All right, I just threw a little bit more on top of that, and then we'll just sand it out, and we should be in good shape. All right, you guys, I went ahead to hit the door with 600 grit, and I would say we're in pretty good shape here. So I don't think I'm gonna do any glazing on this thing. You can see right around here is where I had to do all that fill. So, but I think it looks pretty good. It feels really smooth. I don't think you'll see it in the wrap. Maybe you will. I don't know, but we're gonna do a gloss, so it'll help hide some stuff. Even if it's not perfect, it is way better than it was when I got it. So I think we're gonna hit this with some cleaner, and we should be good to go. So yeah, this feels smooth all the way around here. All the way around. Get some of these little chunks out of here. But yeah, I'd say we are good to keep moving forward with this guy. And I think we got lucky in the door. The door turned out perfect. Perfectly smooth. Don't feel anything in here, so that's cool. Yeah, buddy. Alright, you guys, it's literally pitch black outside, but I only have 2 more spots I gotta paint, and my 1000 grit sandpaper comes tomorrow. So I just want to hammer out these 2 spots super quick before we go to bed. So yeah, I just picked up some cheap, just 2-in-1 high build. I think this can was like $8. The stuff that I initially sprayed with was $45 with that 2K with the hardener in it. So it should be good enough just to spray this couple of spots that I have left. So yeah, let's just do it. Just gonna do a couple of quick little coats like that. Then we'll hit this too on this side. Boom, look at that. Just like that, she's gone on that side. I found one more spot, so I just wanted to quick put a glaze on there. I'll have to re-prime over that. You can see I was trying to prime a little bit right there, but it didn't work. And then over here, boom, look at that. Smooth as a whistle, baby. Oh yeah. So we're gonna give this about 5-10 minutes before we sand that smooth. We'll prime over it one more time. And then the hood should be good to sand with 600 over my spots. And then I'm gonna wet sand with 1000 tomorrow. All right, you guys, we got that spot out. We got that spot out. And then we got that dent popped out. And you can't even tell at all that there was even a dent there. I mean, I'm really, really happy on how this turned out. I mean, this is my first time ever doing bodywork. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I mean, some high build primer, heck yeah, dude, that's for sure the way to go. So I just ended up doing one more full coat over the whole hood. That way we had an even layer, and it's nice and smooth when we go and sand it and block it. So I'm just gonna hit it one more time with 600 grit, and then tomorrow when my 1000 grit shows up, I will go ahead and wet sand it with 1000, and then she will be ready to get wrapped. Heck yeah, I'm really excited. Little rain never hurt nobody. In fact, I think the rain will make it easier to wet sand. Right now I'm just hitting this all with 600 grit, and then we're gonna wet sand to 1000, so then we should be good to go. Rain or shine, you know we grind, baby. All right, here I'm just finishing up with my 600 grit sandpaper, just going over everything, make sure it's nice and smooth. And then I went ahead and I started wet sanding with 1000 grit. So once I went over this, the hood was smooth as glass. Same thing here. Went ahead and I started wet sanding my door with 1000 grit. Again, smooth as glass. Felt so good. All right, so we got the hood put back on, and basically all I'm doing is I'm lining up the paint marks with these nuts as I tighten it. So keep it just loose, just enough that I can slide this around like that, get them lined up, and then we'll get that hood realigned. All right, and just like that, we have our hood back on. You guys wouldn't believe me if I told you this, but I probably spent 45 minutes aligning this hood. And then while I was trying to get, the adjustment all lined up, I just grabbed onto the hood as hard as I could and just started ripping on it like this, and then set it back down, and it was perfectly aligned. So all I had to do was tighten those couple bolts. Now our hood's perfect. Yeah. Well, after hours and hours of sanding, we got my hood all nice and smooth. We have it wet sanded down to 1000 grit. That should be good enough for getting it wrapped. And we got the door put back on. We got the mirror through on there. Same thing, we got that wet sanded down to 1000. We should be in great shape. I don't think you'll ever even notice this thing was in an accident. Heck yeah, man. Ooh. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.